the industry is so full of turbulence, like even in the beginning, as you guys mentioned, that there could be late nights, there is so much chaos. आप लोग को पीठ पे भी जाना है, लैपटॉप पे भी काम करना है, right? Then what is it that you guys are in it for?
Exactly what you said. I'm here for the turbulence.
We are your hosts for today, and that's Mr. Chinmay Futera, who is MSc in additive manufacturing, 3D printing, to say that in a layman language. He's a co-founder at Meraki Counseling. He's a website developer, he's a digital marketer, he manages business and anything and everything that one could think of. Even if you look at a beautiful website, that's all his creation. And that's me. I am Bhumika. I am a counseling psychologist. I'm also a career counselor by profession. And I'm also a co-founder at Meraki, and I'm cool like that. Now we have our panel members, and I'm more than happy to have them here today. They're not only cool professionals, but they're also very, very dynamic. Miss Simran is... I'll begin with Simran's introduction. So Simran is a media student from Symbiosis Center for Media and Communication, and has specialized in public relations and events. Having interests in creative writing, public speaking, she has tried to incorporate her skills in the profession that she's chosen. She has interned with Ved Gurus Mumbai, a company known for managing events for Ambanis, Kotaris, and other big names in the country. With the zeal to work with details and a passion to have each day as new, she has an interest in stitching events from scratch and putting up a show that's unforgettable. I welcome you here, Simran. We have with us Shreya. She has made it a mission to deliver not service but experience for the clients and guests, which they can cherish for a lifetime. She is dedicated from the core of her being to deliver what has been promised and even more. And that passion you can find in everything that she does. 60 Seconds, so technically she's founder and director at 60 Seconds, is not just about her dream coming true to start her own venture, but also about bringing to life of every project she takes. She has varied experience of 9 years with the event and wedding industry, and since the very beginning, she has been unstoppable. She is meticulous planner with an eye of perfection. She is born a naturally talented yet a humble leader. Every achievement is for the team and by the team. And since a lot of you have asked one question, which I think I'll answer right away for a lot of you, that irrespective of the industry you are, event management is one industry you can surely enter. So even Ms. Shreya has done, I'm sorry, there's a mistake. So even Ms. Shreya has done a BCom from HR College Mumbai, and after that she entered in event management, right? So even if you see there's a big transition in her case also, irrespective of the fact whether you're from hotel management, you're from BCom or even science background, you can always come back in event management. But yeah, we'll discuss about this later. Now, what do we do? So as we discussed, we are your hosts. Our venture is called Meraki Counseling. So Meraki Counseling is into career planning, it's into webinars, it's into professional development, mental health and well-being. And even before we jump to give you, a quick tour of our website, why are we doing these webinars is because, we really wanted to give out a lot of free content and resources while lockdown was going on, ever since, Corona has started. So we thought like students, at least while sitting home, would get to know about a lot of careers. So, Shreya, can you please tell us about, how did you land up in this field in the first place, and then how has your journey been? And just give us a brief idea about your work ex in the past. So let's start with Shreya, and then Simran, please take it up.
Sure. So talking about my journey, how I got into events is I think I was doing my BCom in Bombay in an HR college, like you mentioned, Bhumika. And earlier, I think a decade back, the colleges used to get done by say 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. max, and then you had to do something. Then I think I had one thing in my mind that I could never be a paper, table, pen, chair person. So a field job is what I would love doing. That's what got me into a part-time event management course at EMDI. Getting into EMDI, after my first event, I think event management became my passion. It was one thing that I would not say a no to, even if you ask me 50 years down the line, or you ask me in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. कि अच्छा ये करना है. I think when you get the gist, or when you get a kick that this is exactly what will drive you for the endless number of years and for the life to come, that's when you know how that you have found a right field for yourself, and that's how I found mine.
Okay, that's amazing. And what about you, Simran? That's actually a very relevant point that, when you find that passion or kick in something, and even in a course like event management, which is so full of, hectic routine, yet you manage to survive there. That's, I think, something beautiful about the whole understanding what you're passionate about. So, Simran, tell us about yourself. You are a recent graduate. You worked with an event management industry, wedding management industry. So, how is your work experience? And how did you decide that out of and all the things out of PR, out of advertisement, out of content writing, journalism, you picked up event and wedding management? So, what's your say on that?
Right. Yeah, for me, it wasn't that difficult, honestly. It was always my passion. From the time that I did not even know what event management, the term means,
Yeah.
I was, during school time, I was always into managing events. And then in college, it started with Rotaract, where I started managing events for them. And that started out of passion initially. And that is how I started understanding, okay, fine, now that I am here in a media school, and this is what I really like. I like stitching events together. And that is how I ended up interning with Wed Gurus, where I also understood how I wanted to get into weddings more than corporates. So for me, it was all about my passion, and how Shreya said that, it was never for me to sit for a desk job, just to sit in front of a laptop, though you have to do that also here. This is what I realized after I started working with Wed Gurus, that it's not just a field job. You have to sit, you have to make RSVPs, you have to do everything, you have to work on the website. But then it is also about the kick that comes in. Every day is just new. You get to do something new or the other every day. It's not just going for a 9 to 5 job. Sometimes it's going to be very hectic. Sometimes it's going to be really chill. But yeah, the chaos is what keeps me going for this.
Wow. And I think, it's very different for a lot of people. And, that's why even while career counseling, we say that understanding your personality is so important. Like for some people, that chaos is everything, right? There's another set of people for whom structured environment is everything. So that's why if you're someone for whom 9 to 5 is not a thing, right? Like we actually gave a caption to your webinar series that, if you're bored of 9 to 5, then this is something that you should definitely look at. And I think how you guys both beautifully explained the whole scenario, that actually makes sense. Next question goes for you, Shreya. What does event management actually mean? If you can help us break it down, since we are a lot of graduates and school students here, and what is its scope, like in what all areas we can apply it, plus what are the job prospects? If you could just cover all of these things in one go.
Sure. So first of all, anyone who thinks that events is something that you are looking at, according to, if you ask me, how would I define events? Only if you are passionate about doing everything and not saying a no in the industry is when you are likable to be in the industry. Because maybe you are given a different job profile, but on the day of the event or on the time of every chaos that is happening around, you might be asked to do something which you're not even aware of. But then you have to find a way. You have to find people who you can ask immediately and figure the things out as early as yesterday. because it's all about a fraction of seconds. That is how I would put event management as. Breaking about the aspects and the scope of events, I think it starts with client servicing, gets into RSVP, logistics, hospitality, digital marketing, graphic designing, production technicals, presentation skills, show running, artist management, wedding and family functions to be a different part of it, coordination, the decor and designing, and budgeting and everything. I think you can think of about a particular event, everything goes into it. If it is a ticketed event, more of things go into that as well. And a job, from looking at a job perspective, I think you will never run out of a job for an event industry. इवेंट्स होनी है, कॉन्सर्ट्स होनी है, कॉर्पोरेट अपने काम करना है, and people are gonna fall in love and people are gonna get married. As far as the love is in the air, as far as people are getting married, and as far as the corporate and MNCs are running in the country and the worldwide, I don't see a chance that you will ever have to think about a job in the event industry. Depends, yes, on what you are specializing in. If you are specializing in any kind of a particular term or aspect that I just broke down for you, then yes, it will be a timing for you. If you are a freelancer, you will have a different job profiles. If you are in the office, trust me, you're doing from Pune.
Sorry, I think you just got on mute.
Yeah, I just kept me on mute. Okay, so I think starting from the peon to your client's face and up to a point that you sometimes become the owner of the company when you talk about events and weddings. So on a complete on payroll job, I think you will have all the aspects that you will learn, you will go through all together. Freelancer, you will have a very different job profile depending on each event and each weddings that you think of.
Right, right. I think that's pretty comprehensive. And Simran, what's your take on wedding management? Like, what do you think are the job prospects? What exactly is wedding management in the first place? You know, like recently only wedding management as a career has popped up in front of so many people. Earlier, people were not even aware about the fact that wedding management as a career exists, right? So, how can you break it down for the wedding management for us? What are the job prospects and what is the scope?
Okay, so I will talk from a very student perspective, how I understand it. This started, okay, we'll just call wedding management as event management, just with an emotional aspect attached. Okay, so it is from start to end. But you also understand the psychology, the human psychology in this, and also understand how the emotional content works. That is how you would plan your weddings. And as far as how this has started as a new career, earlier they used to be like joint families, right? They used to be like chachas, mamas, all of us together. They just come together. They would take responsibilities. Okay, I would do the catering. Okay, I would take care of the mandap. I would take care of this. And that is how they used to stitch together the whole event. Now, in this age when there are a lot of professionals coming in and we have a crunch of time, but we also need like customized, efficient weddings according to how we want it. That is how this career has emerged so much. And that is how I see it. When I was working with WedGurus, I could understand the clients. They were okay putting in money. They wanted to put in effort, but they also wanted that efficiency that a professional could only give. As far as the career aspects are involved, how Shreya already explained, like from RSVP to client servicing to everything she told, there are two basic departments that I worked with. First one was client servicing and the other one was hospitality. So if I have to give you a brief description about these two departments, that would be like
for hospitality, how we just say it being hospitable, how you have to make your guests feel welcomed and warm, so that they can, when you enter, you have to think from the guest's point of view. Suppose you are entering a hotel for an event, how would you want to feel comfortable? What are the things that will make you feel better there? So once an event manager starts thinking that way, that is how hospitality comes in. Yeah. And as far as client servicing is involved, it is basically just having an open and efficient channel of communication with your clients, with the persons you're dealing with the family, more than the bride and groom with their parents, because you have to understand, you have to maintain relations there. Because how I saw there was this small experience how the mother of the bride and the bride they came to an argument, and all that was needed there was nothing else but understanding the psychology and talking to them about how to resolve that issue there. So client servicing is all about making your client comfortable.
That's very true. And I think as far as the family fights is concerned, because there's budgeting, there's father involved, there's the mother involved, there's a lot involved, there's everybody involved, and oh my God, I think I can imagine the amount of conflicts that can happen.
And everybody wants things their way, so you have to come to a mid ground there.
Yeah. So technically, you were the person, who's just bursting stress for everyone and not just taking care of the entire event. Right. Okay, so what does wedding management, so that we've covered, but how is wedding management actually different from event management? Shreya, can you help us understand that?
Yes. So when we talk events, we talk about live events, be it concerts, be it corporates, or be it any small events. And when we talk weddings, I think like Simran said, it's more about family. It's more about taking care from food to the hotel venue options to the decor, the designing, the RSVP that happens maximum in the wedding, because you have to call 1,000 times to the family to get the confirmation. So the biggest difference I see as a professional when it comes to events and weddings, events are more organized because we are dealing with the corporates, or we are dealing with people or on the internet. Because when we talk about live events, I think it major goes into book my show, or it major gets into ticketing. So it's all online. So you're not dealing directly. And corporates are very well organized. They only have an answer is yes or no. It's a corporate culture. But when we talk about weddings, it's very ununiform, it's very unorganized, and there are 100 opinions that you have to understand and put yourself content with the opinions and make a presentation, or maybe talk to a family as well. So one is an emotional thing and one is a very budget thing. That is the main difference between events and weddings.
Okay, that makes sense. I think, like as far as corporates are concerned, there's a very structured environment to it, and there's, like this needs to be done. With weddings, I think, especially in India, people are very emotional about the whole prospect. The cultural things come into the picture, and I think Simran will be able to define, because Simran is from North India, but she's also seen, Gujarati weddings. She actually understands Punjabi weddings also pretty well. Shreya herself is from Gujarat and understands the culture and context from it. So I think today we would also love to understand, about the culture and the context. Let's see where that bit is fitting in though. However, before going forward with that question, the industry is so full of turbulence, like even in the beginning, as you guys mentioned, that there could be late nights, there is so much chaos. आप लोग को पीठ पे भी जाना है, लैपटॉप पे भी काम करना है, right? Then what is it that you guys are in it for?
Exactly what you said. I'm here for the turbulence.
Wow.
How
Right.
it just, people call it chaos, and I understand that this is a chaotic job. I have done for events, I have been in office for like days at stretch. I was there till 3:30 in the morning working there. But at the end of the day, the satisfaction that you get after that event is put up and everything goes fine, how you have imagined it, you put it there, your vision is, you can see your vision coming true. That is when all of this chaos and everything just feels right, you know. This turbulence is there for sure. I would honestly suggest, like, people who are actually in it for passion and are enthusiastic about the industry, step into it. But if you feel that it's going to be an easy cakewalk, it's not going to be. It is not as glamorous how it looks like. It is glamorous for the clients for sure. It is not glamorous for you. So yeah, for the turbulence, yes, you just have to give your 100% and then you'll be fine. If you are in it for that, it's your way.
That's true, very true. And what's your take on this, Shreya? You've been in the industry for Simran. She began, it's just been a year, and I think now that she's decided after that year's experience that she's sticking through it, so it means that she's actually loved it. Shreya, you've been in it for 9 years, so what is your take on that?
I think, like she said, any job is never a cakewalk. Like, if you think that you are just gonna pass through, or you are just gonna have a very glamorous life, meet the celebrities, enjoy the travel, I say, trust me, come into my shoes for a day, and then we shall talk on how travel and glamorous do we look. Yes, you might see a lot of destinations you travel to, but yes, you're traveling to those destinations, you're only working. You are not getting into anything that is going and exploring places. So I think if you are up for passionate work, if you're up for everything that you have a support of, and late nights, early mornings, 2 hours of sleep for next couple of days on the day of the events and before and post events. Trust me, when you can do that, that's exactly the time event industry calls you. If you think that it's gonna be just 10 baje I'll be back home or this, no, you are never back home. The day you decide you will be back home by 9 o'clock, you will be back home only by 9 o'clock in the morning next.
Wow, can't even
So
imagine.
yes, and I recall an example when I used to, when I actually thought, I'm going to be home today early because I have an early morning flight at 5 o'clock. And I reached home at 3. I picked up my bag and I just went directly to the airport.
Right.
So, and I was a day prior in the office at 7 o'clock because I wanted to do my media drive right.
Hmm.
And that's when I decided, okay, that today I'm going early at 7. I think I'll leave early and I should be home by 9. And that never happened. So, and guys, the biggest aspect will be being a girl in this industry. When you are a girl working in this industry, there will be a lot of questions coming from a lot of people about your late nights. If you are trusted, if you have your parents' support, and just for the first year of your career into events, drop a message once you're home that you are safe home. That works wonders. So I think being a girl or a guy in this industry has no problems. You are very safe. You are with 500 more people working with you. The safest you can ever be. 500 people, boys.
True, that's very true. And she says that if you're willing to come at 9:30 in the evening, in the night, you might actually come at 9:30 in the morning. That's the amount of turbulence that they're talking about. And probably certain people like me and or maybe a lot of students or professionals out there would cry if we don't sleep for 7 hours straight. We'd be like, oh my god, like at night we'll check whether we're completing 7 hours straight to sleep. So for certain people, there's a very structured life that we're looking forward to. And that's why you really need to identify that if you are willing to go for an event management or wedding management industry, you need to be okay with the kind of turbulence and the hectic routine, or I would not say a hectic routine, but more of a haywire routine. So that's the kind of comfort needs to be there.
There will be days, Bhumika, when you won't even might need to go to the office, sit at home, work for 1 hour, and you are done. But like a few days prior to the event and on the days of the event, there's no home, there's no office, there's no washroom, and there's nothing happening. It's your client and you and the work.
Wow. And that's okay with you, right?
I am enjoying it from a decade now, 10 years into the industry. I think I'm enjoying it.
Totally. Okay. Now my next question is that Okay, so families are not too comfortable with the whole idea of this industry, like, for their, like in India, we're so pampered. Most of us are brats. Oh my God, how can my child go into this industry? So a lot of parents are uncomfortable. So what could be the possible reasons because of which parents are uncomfortable? How to convince the parents if one is passionate about the industry in the first place? Please share your perspective in this context. Like, how have you dealt with this situation? So let's start with you, Shreya.
Guys, we come from a very conservative backgrounds, all of us. Wherever you live in a metropolitans or you live in a small town, trust me, there is an amount of conservative thought that has always gone into our parents' mind. But let's make them understand that this is not a page three industry. This is not Bollywood, but you are there to work. You are there because you are passionate about it. And like I just said in the last before Bhumika could ask me this question, that convince your parents that rather than getting into an industry or an MNC, come on, you might be getting a 2 lakh rupee month job into an MNC, but are you happy with that? Is that gonna make you happy? Ask your parents that. Tell them that if you ask me that question now, I would say no. Because I would rather curse myself 5 years down the line when if I don't like what I'm doing. I would not want to curse you, or rather than curse you, I would not want to blame you that the entire idea of getting into an MNC or not doing what I loved or what I was passionate for, I was wrong. I would only say I am wrong because I chose that for myself. So get yourself let your parents come to your mind, let them wear your shoes, and let them understand that yes, you love it and you would never complain about it. If you can do that, I'm sure your parents will be quite convinced, because at the end of the day, आप कितने भी conservative हो, आप कितने भी कुछ भी हो, your parents are always going to look for your own happiness. They love their child to at least think that they are happy. If you can do that, trust me, you don't have to go anywhere else to find your passion. So yeah.
And what's your take on that, Simran?
Yeah, how Shreya said this, I experienced this in my own journey when I was working with Vet Gurus. Honestly, it wasn't a very big task for me to convince my parents because they knew that I was very passionate about this thing. The
Right.
only concern that they would always have, and I guess any parent would have, would be your safety. And especially being a girl, when I was working in Mumbai, there were tough times. There were times when I was actually carrying a pepper spray to slum areas because I had to go there to the vendors. But if I can convince my parents, if I can tell them, like, okay, I give them a call every now and then, or I just drop them a message saying, I am here and I am fine. I am with this person right now and I'm fine. Just doing small things like sharing your cab number, maybe just giving them your WhatsApp live location. At the end of the day, if you're safe, they're happy. And if they see you happy that way, they're not going to complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's very true. Also, one more thing that I would want to mention here, that, people, what happens is that at times they would have actually come across some negative experience here or there, right? They would have actually seen somebody in a catering or a management industry where they would have come across a negative experience, let's say. And that could have possibly sit in their mind for the longest time in their life, and then they would say कि नहीं मेरा बेटा बेटी, they won't go in this career, right? So it is not even about gender roles here. Like, we're not even talking about a girl or a boy's safety. It's for both at the end of the day. And coincidentally, we have both the panel members who are girls right now. But then, if such situation arises where you're passionate about it, plus you're sure about it, in that situation, and then also parents are not too convinced, and in that situation, I suggest that either you connect them with Simran or you connect them with Shreya, and that's where actually mentorship model is coming into the picture. कि खाली आपके लिए नहीं है, वो आपके पेरेंट्स के लिए है, कि जब आपके पेरेंट, आपके मॉम डैड आपसे आप इन मेंटर से बात करेंगे कि बेटा आप क्या करते हो इस इंडस्ट्री में, आपका स्केड्यूल कैसा होता है, रात को ट्रैवल करते हो तो कैसे करते हो, आप अपने पेरेंट्स को कैसे इन्फॉर्म रखते हो, आर दे पीपल अराउंड यू, आर यू सेफ? सो व्हेन दे contact with them, that's where they get that comfort. Are you understanding where we are coming from? Yesterday we were discussing, it was a hotel management webinar. We were discussing कि एक तो हम हिंदुस्तानी वैसे ही बहुत चालू होते हैं, right? In the sense हमें पता है हमें अपने पेरेंट्स को कैसे convince करना है, like we always have a way out. So when we can go all the way to convince we need this chocolate, we need this pen, we need this cycle, we need this and that, and even to an extent that this is my friend and I'll stick to it. So of course for career we can go ahead and make a comfort area for them, but for that they also need to be comfortable with the whole idea. So in that case you can either reach out to us, or maybe more preferable situation that you make them reach out to Simran or Shreya. All right, so that brings me to the next question, which is, hold on, what are the pros and cons in the industry? Shreya, can we throw quick light on pros and cons in the industry?
I think we quite much spoke about the cons for sure, that you will have irregular hours, you will be traveling a lot, you will have a lot of answers to be given, and you will have to multitask. It's very important. Talking about the pros of it, I think every day is a new learning, every day is a new event, every day you wake up and there is nothing normal for you. Every day is a new drama, every day is a new question, every day are the new learnings, everything is new. I think when we say we are getting back to the new normal, I say we have never been normal. Like, when have you been normal in a day? Except for the days that only the days you are seeing is the days that you are home, or you are on an off season or something like that. Otherwise, I think we all are insane every day. We are never going back to normal. I think it was never normal for us. So all the pros and all the cons, trust me, बाहर से ये बड़ा glamorous, बड़ा travel लगता है, ये बड़ा it looks very if you're into event management, I'm sure you travel places, you enjoy yourself, you do have a lot of check-ins on Facebook, you do all of this, guys. Trust me, it looks very, very happening. It's not happening. We have been on our feet for more than 72 hours. We have been in the same clothes for more than 72 hours because we were working. If you can work without complaints, without saying a no, be my guest. I'll be the first one to offer you the job.
Right. That does make complete sense. And as we've been discussing again and again, that जो cons और जो turbulence probably कहीं लोगों के लिए cons होगी, वही same chaos and turbulence can be a big pro for people in this industry. Like, they like to travel, they are okay with traveling, they are okay with like a chaotic routine, chaotic life. So it's about you, whether you're comfortable with that or not. Simran, can you please tell us about your course? Like, you did mass communication course. So how is the course, one, linking to event management and wedding management? And two, what else did you learn in the course, and how is it actually helping you here?
Okay, so I did it from Symbiosis Center for Media and Communication. I did my bachelor's in arts, mass communication, that's the degree, and I did my specialization in public relations and events. Now, when I say specialized in public relations and events, there are 4 specializations that this college offers. Okay, there is filmmaking, that we call AV, audio visuals. Then there is journalism, what everybody in a layman's language thinks is media, but media ka sirf ek ye part hai. It's not media completely. Mass communication has other aspects to it as well. Then there is advertising, filmmaking, and advertising management. And then there's one which I did, that was public relations and events. Now, how I feel this was better for me to get into a media college and understand things at a very young age. It helped me, one, because of my internships, I could experiment. I could understand what I like, what I don't like. I could understand the difference between, okay, there's a thing called corporate events, there's a thing called
fests and concerts. There's a thing called wedding management. Which one would I want to go to?
True.
That was very, on an early age, I could understand that, right? Second, I could also interact with the industry experts at a very young age during college because we were always in contact. That was the plus point to actually attending a media college. I wouldn't say that you can't do it without having an experience or having a degree in this, because how we are seeing Shreya's there, she's done her BCom and then she's here. But yeah, it helped me understand what I want to do very early in life. I could understand because I could experience it in the first place.
True. I think that's amazing, and I think that's where the importance of internships comes into the picture. I don't know if you have asked me, in the questions that we sent you while you were registering. I mean, where we gave you space to write a question for panel members, and I see one recurring question which goes like that: if I'm from BCom, if I've done mass comm, if I've done hotel management, even if you're an engineer, please understand that you can easily come to an event management industry first of all, right? But even before entering an event management industry, you need to understand that you need to actually go deep and take nitty-gritties from it. Do an internship. Try and do a job if possible, right? When you're through that, you know that this is my cup of tea or this is not. And that's when you actually enter the industry, or that's when you plan a master's if you need to do that, right? Or maybe in this case, your skills, your work experience works even better. So Shreya, next question comes for you that, what all courses can one think of? One is, of course, event management. So can you tell us about all the possible courses that one can think of to get into event management industry?
Yes. So I think first you need to really understand for yourself that you want to get into the overall event management or you want to specialize in something else. When we say specializations, do you want to get into weddings? Do you want to get into hospitality logistics? Or do you want to get into a show running? However, once you decide on what all aspects you would love to do, that's when you come down to one of the institutions that are everywhere now. I think EMDI is from Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, everywhere. I'm a student of EMDI myself. Then there is NIEM, and then there are branded wedding schools which have the right experts coming and talking. For Delhi, I think it's a Touchwood Wedding School by Vijay Arora. And then there is Bombay, which has the wedding school and which has the Wishcraft Global Wedding Academy. So they teach you everything starting from production to technicals, RSVP, everything that you ask about. So first you need to understand what you want to learn. You want to get into an event course or a wedding course. When you finalize on one of it, that's when you get into the course. Event kar liya, fir wedding mein jana hai won't make any sense because then you do not know how to handle that roller coaster.
Right.
So yes.
Okay. So that also brings us to another question that the industry was taken a toll on. I mean, after COVID-19, travel industry, tourism industry, hotel industry, especially hospitality industry, and of course even even wedding, all of that actually came to standstill. So Shreya, how did the industry actually survive with that hit, and what is how do you visualize the next year?
Yes, we all had a very bad fallback. All the industries, not only the event industry. In the times of COVID, I think we as an industry, we have all helped each other to stay stable, to stay on feet and to stay grounded at the same time. Because we are the first industry who walks out and we are the first and maybe the last one to walk in. So we are saying from the time pandemic hit till the time everyone will be back to work except us. But when we are back, we have made sure that we are coming up with different concepts. ऐसा नहीं है कि अभी शादी नहीं हो रही है, लॉकडाउन में बहुत शादियां हुई है. There have been lockdown events, there have been lockdown weddings, they have gone virtual, they have gone intimate. But the things are happening. And like I first said, that after COVID thing, what I see as an industry, we will bounce back 10 times harder. Because जो शादियां It is said, it is a ratio and it is numbers that come out every year. In India, there are 3 crores weddings that happen every year. And in the past few months, say from March to September, there are no weddings that have happened, or there are hardly 1% of weddings that have actually happened. We are looking at a bounce back in a way that we are talking about all 3 crore shadis happening in next first Murat that everyone will get. So people are getting ready, people are accepting that okay, we are ready to travel. PPE kit pehna do ya kuch bhi pehna do, we are back to traveling. There are international weddings planning for February already. So we are going to bounce back, and we are going to bounce back, and how? So everyone will have work. In a way कि now you will be on a driving seat. मेरे को ये शादी करनी है या नहीं करनी है. Earlier, the client used to decide for you that I want to hire you, I don't want to hire you. Right now, once we are back in November, December, we will be on the driving seat saying, I don't want to do this wedding. I want to do this one. Because you will have a lot of options. You will have a lot of back-to-back dates. You won't have time to breathe. This is a
hire us in that case.
Sorry?
Would you want to hire us in that case?
I am ready to hire you. As soon as my work starts, I think everyone please come back, because we are looking at everything happening back to back. December we are back.
Yeah, there's a question that came in around that are you people actually, providing internships?
We do provide internships, but right now, since we are at a standstill, we are not hiring people.
Yeah,
we
right.
get people on project basis, and we do get people on monthly internships as well.
Right. Makes sense.
So I think, guys, make sure your seat belts are fastened, and get ready for a takeoff that we are ready to take in November and December, because too much of work, too much of expectations from you to be delivered, and everyone's gonna get to work. कितने भी आओ, कहीं से भी आओ, काम मिलेगा.
Right. There is no age limit. Somebody is asking in the question.
No, there are no age limits. I think we have people who are 18 to the people who are 90 years old in the industry.
Wow, that's amazing.
And yes, Bhumika, just taking a second of yours before we move forward. A lot of people had a questions when we were talking about the aspects and the job profiles. Yeah. So later, once we are done with the questions, maybe we would want to just give a brief one-liner of what exactly those things are.
Yeah, I would definitely want to, cover that up. I think we missed out in this question. This was one last question, which was generally planned for the webinar. That what are the skill sets and what is a personality type required for one to thrive in this industry?
Okay, if I have to talk about the skill sets, basically, as per se, you need to. Okay, first thing is you have to be an enthusiast for this. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. And this, I'm not just talking about events. You have to be passionate about something to actually get it done, right? So you have to be passionate about events and managing weddings if you have to come into this. Otherwise, that zeal goes, right? Then you have to be energetic. Then you have to have that creativity and out-of-the-box thinking. You have to come up with different concepts, because there's so many people working out there. What makes you different? What makes people want you to do their job, you to manage their wedding? So you need to be creative, and you have to be an out-of-box thinker, right? Then one thing that I understood from my experience, you need to know how to manage your time properly. Because, and when I say this, I also understand that no matter how many plans you make to manage your time, you will still have to, there'll be something different coming up right there, and you will have to again manage it. How Shreya said, when you think that you will go back at 10 o'clock in the night, you might just end up going back at 9 in the morning. So how are you taking care of your health there? Because, your health goes for a toss. And if you are not doing that properly, then at the end of the day, what are you working for? Right? And then there also comes leadership. And when I say leadership, it also, you have to understand that you have to have leadership qualities, even if you are an intern. Why? Because there are a lot of times when your bosses, your heads, when they see that efficiency in you, they would just leave things to you. Okay, this is your department. I know that you can do it, obviously with guidance, but now you have to take care of it. Now this is your responsibility. And how do you take care of that responsibility?
when you know how to have those leadership skills. So those are a few skills that you need to have if you have to come here. Other than that, just be passionate about this job and you'll be good to go.
Right, right. I think it makes complete sense, and thank you for the comprehensive question. I think we have one more question coming again and again.
I would one second. I want to add one line here, Bhumika.
Sure.
The skill set, apart from what Simran mentioned,
Yeah.
सब बराबर है. You have to be calm, you have to be composed, you have to be content, and you cannot panic in any kind of a situation. आग लग गई और you start panicking. नहीं, your panicking is not just going to बुझाओ the आग. You have to be calm and you have to be right. Presence of mind is very important at any events. Leadership 100%, because you are going to take a lot of decisions while everyone is away from you. But whenever you have to take a decision or whenever you are asked a question by the client, stay calm, stay composed, stay content. That's all you need to do.
Right, right, right. And Priya and Simran, now this question, we are actually going through the questions that have come at the time of registration. So we just need to quickly touch upon the answers, but there's one recurrent question that has been coming up, that how do you enter event management industry? Like, is there a specific course that you need to do? How do you begin with this industry in the first place?
I think beginning with the industry, you must, now that the courses are available, it's always a plus point to do a course and then enter into the industry, because all the schools that I mentioned you of are the people who are giving you placements, are giving you internships. You will have a skill set that is required to be in the industry, and you are not supposed to be taught from the scratch. Because in today's time, like I said, we will have a lot of work to do. I believe if I get someone who has already done a course, that means he has a basic skill set of events and weddings. That's when I would want to hire the person who has a skill set rather than the person who's a complete fresher, who's not who doesn't come from a background of event management. So if you actually do one of these courses, I think it is a perfect way to get your skills in order. And if you think you want to get into it directly, start freelancing.
Right.
You have few friends who are into events. Start freelancing, सीखो काम, हर एक फील्ड का काम सीखो. उसके बाद तय करो now what do you want to apply as a job profile.
Right. And in that case, I think internships work best. Yeah, so there are two ways. Let's say you end up signing up for an event management course without even realizing that that's your cup of tea. So that means you're wasting another 2-3 years of your life. So instead,
no, again, Bhumika, I think nowadays people, whoever, even if you ask me, I would want people who at least know basics of what we are doing.
Exactly.
If someone doesn't know a basic of what we are doing or how we are supposed to do, I would not want to mentor the kid from a very scratch on the day of my events.
True.
Because that is one point in our lives that we have 1,360 degree to look around.
True.
That's when I will hire a person who already has a particular skill set कि मैंने hospitality के लिए देखा तो उसको उसका पता होना चाहिए कि उसमें होता क्या है. And we are not talking about now spending 3 years in a course, in a particular course. The courses are limited to 6 months now.
Exactly. There are a lot of diplomas actually that one can also do and understand.
No, these are not even diplomas. This 6 months and 1 year are the degree programs I'm talking.
Oh, all right, right. No. Actually, we're talking from a perspective, Shreya, like a lot of students, what they do is they think that the field is fancy and then they just end up in it. In the sense, वो बस masters कर लेंगे. But what I'm trying to say here is that even before you enter in a master's program, at least try taking a diploma or at least one internship program for a month to understand first whether this is your cup or not. Right? Like what I'm trying to say is good that you're doing a master's degree, like as what Shreya said. So you can do a degree in mass communication, you can do a degree in event management, but having a little relevant experience first, a bit of an internship, if I call it that way, would make you understand that should you also need to go for master's in the first place. Yeah, and now that takes us to the other question. how to go about the transition from BCom to event management. Can I get internship before that? Yeah, is internship before that possible? I think.
Internship nowadays is not quite possible because, like I said, there are a lot of people there are fleet of people outside waiting to get into the event industry as soon as it opens up. So everyone is going to look around for people who know something. So get into a 6 month. I think now, if you're asking me, I would, if had I been supposed to be joining this industry, online courses chal rahe hain abhi bhi. Ye sari schools are giving you online classes.
Right.
They will give you everything after the lockdown opens up, and they'll give you the internships and they'll give you the placement. This 6 months, still the time that you're going to sit home and waste in the lockdown, pick up those courses online.
True. Okay, and somebody has asked, what is the scope of event management and wedding management industry? Actually, we've not talked much about the job prospects. So, like everybody knows that, okay, you have to run around, coordinate, manage things, but there's so much more than it. Like it's not just manager, right? So there's so much to it. So Simran, can you talk about few specialized areas? And then Shreya, you could also talk about all the possible designing and everything.
Sure.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I talked about the two departments basically where I work majorly in. That was hospitality, and the other one was client servicing. So if you are a people's person, if you think that you can go and talk to people, you can get into either client servicing, or if you think that you are a go-getter and you're street smart, get into vendor management, because that is one thing that client relationships and vendor relationships, these two things require a lot of communication skills. So if you think you are a person who can convince people, communicate to people well, these two departments are really good for you if you want to get into that. And other than that, if I would say, let's talk about the other thing, hospitality. That requires a lot of, calmness, and how you have to be composed in your own self. If you think that you'll be good doing that, you can take care of people, you are hospitable enough, get into hospitality then. That necessarily wouldn't take you to events, the places, the venues at events. You might just be at the hotels. But that also kind of, if you are that person who can take care of the small nitty-gritties and small details, then that is one thing that you can look for.
Okay. And Shreya, could you also add, because, as we discussed the other day, that there's so much beyond just managing and coordinating.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one field or a one job profile, and I'm going to give you a one-liner on what exactly it is.
That would make sense.
Yeah, so client servicing, as Simran explained, you are the face to the client on behalf of the company. So you are dealing with everything, which includes budgeting, which includes pitching, which includes presentation, everything with the company and the client. So you are an interface. What is RSVP? RSVP is basically making calls, asking your guest. You have an entire guest list on an Excel sheet. On the day they want to arrive, they want to depart. So RSVP is getting a confirmation if they are coming for the event or the wedding or they are not. And making an Excel sheet which gives you a complete idea of the number of guests and the attendees. So that is RSVP. Hospitality is when you are at the hotel, you are doing check-in, check-outs, you are doing in-venue hospitality, which is being at the venue and understanding कि कोई housekeeping चाहिए, कोई कुछ गिर गया, you are making sure all of that is getting possible and immediately. So that is hospitality. Logistics is something airport to airport, making sure the cars are available, making sure your guests don't have to wait for the cars and the transports. So that is logistics. It can be between the airport to airport. It can be between airport to venue, venue to hotel, hotel to venue, however. Digital marketing is marketing yourself digitally, a particular event marketing digitally. A sunburn is marketed by Percept and BookMyShow all over the social media and with huge banners and everything. So that is digital marketing. graphic designing includes everything that is itinerary, that is that are your key cards, that are your pamphlets and everything that gives you a detail about your particular event or a wedding. You need to have a skill set of presentation skills, because every event and every weddings have a different themes. When we talk about those themes, you need to have a very personalized presentation skills that we talk about, and not only making a presentation, but also a presentation skill in terms of talking to your client, talking to your people, talking to your team, and talking to vendors. Production is all about the setups. The huge setup that you see when you go to an event is production. It includes lights, it includes trussing, it includes masking, it includes everything that a stage or a setup might need. Technicals is basically your sound and light. Your sound and light has a lot of technical programming that goes into it before we get into an event at a wedding space. Show running is something, when you see award shows, you see a lot of people getting into the screen in a black and black clothes to make sure the prop is made available, to make sure when the person who is next performing is made ready to be on the standby. That is show running. Artist management is managing your artist, coordinating with the artist once you know who are the artists coming to your event. Coordination, making sure about their space, making sure about that food, making sure about everything to do with, including the drama that comes from the artist. That is artist management. Wedding and a family, wardrobe and a family management in a wedding. You have, when we say a wedding, it comes with a lot of it comes with a lot of other perspectives. A family is to be managed, a bride, groom, the parents of the bride, groom, the brothers, sisters, everyone. So basically we have shadows that we call, who actually stay with, who become a shadow to the particular person they are given, they are assigned to. Like if I'm assigned to the bride, everything to do with the bride, from her food, clothes, everything comes under me. I have to make sure everything is made available to her when she needs it. When she has to be ready, she has to be ready and moving out. So I become a coordinator between the person who is at the venue and the person who is with the bride and the groom. Coordinator can be from the person who coordinates the entire wedding with the client, the person who coordinates only with the client, and the person who coordinates only with the vendors. That's a kind of a coordination that we have. Freelancers, of course, like I said, you have you come on board when the project is about to start. A day prior to the project, you get the lowdown, you get everything that you need to know for the event, and you are particularly paid on day-to-day basis. If you're working for 3 days, you're paid for 3 days. There is a person who is into freelancing. Production है, वो production का freelancing होता है. All the aspects I gave you till now, all the branches I gave you till now, they all have freelancers. They are the people who come at the last moment and just get the work done. Decor and designing. Decor is one part of it. Designing the entire setup, designing from your mandap to your clothes, and to getting into your catering tables and your sitting arrangement and the food tables. Everything comes under decor and designing. So this is a little brief of what are the aspects and what are the things you can get into when you are planning to get into events and weddings. It's a huge industry. It has a lot of streams to it. Not one particular that you might say that I know events. Even I can't say after 10 years I know events. I can be basic. I might know basic about my technicals, and I might know basic about my sound. But everyone has a specialty. Everyone knows what their job is. If you ask me to go and talk to the client, I can go and talk to a client for 1 hour. I don't have a problem, because I know what I'm selling and what I'm talking. So there are different aspects you can get into the entire industry with, and find your right kick when you get into the industry? Like what you love and enjoy doing?
Right. I think that I totally agree with all of that. Simran, since you've done mass communication course and a lot of people here are from hotel management course, so would you think that, these two degrees would suffice one to get into event management, wedding management? I completely would say yes, but since you've also, worked in the industry, what's your say on that, Simran? You're on mute, Simran.
Yeah, the, what you're saying is right. If even if you're doing hotel management or for that any other professional course where that involves people and how dealing with them is involved, you can easily get into events, because at the end of the day they're all knitted together, right? When you start working for suppose hotel management, you are also dealing with their hospitality, and that is a great department. Like, that's a big department that comes under events as well. So you already have an edge to work in that department. It's only about how you brush up your skills according to what profile you're going to take up, how you mold yourself into that. And then, even if you're not from hotel management, even if you're doing some basic course and you want to get into this, it's easy, until and unless you just know how to mold yourself to situations, into different uh, departments of event management.
Right, right. So, Simran, would you also want to comment on a little relatable courses? Because event management, there's not a lot of degrees available in event management in India, especially at bachelor's level. Yes, you have good colleges like EMTI, NAEMD. So there are certain really good colleges. But just in case somebody is not being able to come via a event management course, would you like to suggest any relatable degrees for that?
You don't even have to do particularly, you don't have to get into a degree course for this. There are so many online courses. I would just name some. There are courses, they're very good courses, and this I personally can tell you from my experience that there are good courses at Upgrad that you can get from for online courses in event management and digital marketing. And just do the basics of it, learn how you can go through different aspects of event management through these courses, do your internships, get your experience. And yes, you don't have to get into a degree course for this. I did a degree course, you can get into that if you really want to. But it's okay if you're not doing a degree course and you're just doing some online courses for that, until unless it's giving you some outcome towards the
Right,
end.
right. I think I again seen this recurring question, which says that I am from IT industry. I'm an engineer. I am coming from hotel management industry. I'm coming from travel and tourism industry. I'm coming from mass comm. So especially mass comm, travel and tourism industry, hotel management industry, a pure hospitality, cabin crew courses, all of this would really help you enter event management because you already know hospitality part of it. Yeah, you already know catering part of things. You already know how to manage things, how to deal with people. Now, besides this, should you all ask me, everyone present here right now, can anyone and everyone enter event management? Yes, right? So there is no bar. Like for engineering, you have to have a PCM. That nothing of that sorts exists for event management. First of all, please understand that. Number one. Number two, a lot of you have asked whether I'm fit for this, which kind of course should I go for? Should I take WorkX? Should I go for a master's? In that case, I would strongly suggest to first take a career counseling session to understand or actually have a psychometric test done to understand whether you're fit for that industry, like what your personality traits are like, what your aptitude is like, what are certain skills that are there. So these are little bit, nitty-gritties that you would want to see first to understand whether you're good fit for the industry. Or should you go for a workup? Should you go for an internship? Or should you go for masters or a diploma or anything on those lines, right? So that's about clearing your confusion as far as the career bit is concerned, as far as the course bit is concerned. Now, as far as typical event management or wedding management bit is concerned, like you're already there, but how to grow further in the field, that's when you can connect with Simran and Shreya, right? So whosoever you feel you can get in touch with, and you felt that you were getting more relatable answers, so you can get in touch with them and understand that okay, now I'm here, how to grow further. right? Or whom should I connect with in the industry? If I'm in Bombay, whom should I get in touch with? If I'm in Pune, whom should I get in touch with? If I'm in North, I'm in Delhi, whom should I get in touch with? Who do you think will my own business? Like Shreya is already an entrepreneur. Simran is also willing to become an entrepreneur. So understanding how to start the business. So these are little things that won't be able to answer in the webinar, because these are very specific questions, and that's where you can get in touch with the two of them. There was one more question. A lot of people have talked about money in the industry, so even I'm intrigued that how does the money bit work. Shreya and Simran, can you just give a bit of feedback on that bit?
I think if you ask me, looking at the commercials depends on your what field you are applying for. Number one, because when you say production, it has a higher amount than you compare it to some others. And when you say hospitality, it comes even higher, because hospitality you are dealing with a lot of things. Freelancers that we have been hiring for hospitality and all, we have been paying them 3.5K start and 9,000 to the end. That is per day. So if a per day it varies. It varies on the years of experience. It varies on your presentations, your presentable, your communication, and a lot of things when we talk about an event industry and freelancing and jobs, because it's huge, and I have fleet of people I want to hire. So, like I said, it starts from a basic bouncer, basic ushers can start from 900 a day and can go to 2,000 a day. And a proper freelancer with a skill set can go from 3.5 to 9K a day. So that's the kind of money that we look for freelancers. And talking about a payroll, a basic person who just entered the industry without a skill set gets nothing more than a 15 to 20K. Yes, once you brush up on your skills, trust me, you are, if you are capable and if you have made your contacts, your social networking, it should be, your PR should be so strong and should be so powerful in this industry. Ki apply anywhere, you will get a good reply for yourself. And you can make a 1.5K, 5 lakh a month as well.
Right.
So it depends. Yeah.
Simran, I could see you smiling all that while. What's that mysterious smile all about?
I was just thinking about my experience, how I interned. I did an unpaid internship while my friends were going for all paid internships to Mumbai, and I was there with an unpaid internship in hand. And that is when I understood, there are two things that really are important. One is your experience, how experienced you are. So I earned something, money, no, experience, yes. And that would suffice everything for me right now, because that is what I needed the most, right? Then how Shreya put it, you need to have good contacts and personal brand building. So once you're climbing up that ladder, it's, you would just get your job, you would get into the job unless you have good contacts, people know about you in the industry. For example, freelancers, how would they get jobs? At the end of the day, the one who's doing good work, they will just get the job there. So yeah, money wise, initially I would say it's okay, it is not that great, but there is a little struggle monetary. But once you start climbing the ladder, you are good to go. You know where you land up and you will be in a good place.
Right. And also it's as we said again and again, that there's so much, one can get into. You can get into designing, you can get into photography, you can get into catering side of things, you can get into arranging music side of things. So there's so much to it that one don't need to first of all think of like job opportunities ki kami nahi hogi per se, but yes, because when you begin with everything which is new, and especially when the industry deals with people, there's always struggle with money. But then with time, as Shreya also rightly mentioned, with time when you grow, it's just there. Yeah, and then
I think there are hardships everywhere, whatever industry you talk about. Hardships in the start are everywhere. That is exactly what is going to shape you for better you. And if you do everything in a right, ethical way, professional way, you can do wonders. Like
Right.
at 10 years in the industry, you can do wonders.
Yeah, yeah. Right. So now when they've started doing Wonder, we can just feel free to send our CVs to them. I think they'll be more than ready to hire us, maybe after 2020, right?
The first half of 2021, all of us will be hired. Trust me, all of us,
Yeah.
including Simran too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just say whoever's here, whoever thinks that he wants to get into this industry and is thinking about how will they do it, will it be difficult, how will the start be like, trust me, it will be hard, but it'll be worth it. So when I say this, I know I have gone through it too, and you will be fine when you end it. You'll be fine. You'll just be there. So go for it if you feel that you have to get into this industry.
True, true. Shreya, what's your take on
I
this?
think, Bhumika, you guys are first doing a wonderful job because getting onto like 40 or 50 odd people and asking them to join and understand why they should join this industry, a very few people might who would really do it. And if you're doing it, I salute you. Like a lot of few people are doing it. To people who are here, guys, if you're passionate, if you love doing something, and if you want to just do it because you might not complain it later, and if you would enjoy it for the rest of your life, please, you're the person who's most welcome into our industry and our family. This event industry is a small, closed family. It's not as huge as MNCs that we talk about. It's a small, closed family where we all work together, where we all coexist. So I might need people who are freelancers. The freelancers might need me. We all coexist in the industry. Let's understand that. So, and like I said, there's never gonna be a shortage of job in this industry. Love is gonna happen. MNCs are gonna do their annual meetings. They are gonna do their annual general meetings, and
I think
everything is going to happen.
people are really concerned about what about the people who are going to get in an arranged marriage setup. Guys, that's completely fine. You will still get married after 2020. So thank you so much, Shreya, first of all, for acknowledging what we do. That does mean a lot. And that's been our, actually vision that we operate with, to be able to give out a lot of content so that people first decide on their own that, what is it that's relevant for them. And if, there's still a confusion revolving around, then please, you can always come back. There's so many experts to help you there, and we can always have a personalized one-on-one sessions to understand how things are to be taken forward.